Well, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have played out a 0-0 draw with the Algerian women's national team. Well, the Super Falcons of Nigeria is the senior women's national team of Nigeria. Well, this is the third game of this year's edition of the African Women's Cup of Nations. Well, the Super Falcons are playing in the third group stage match. Okay, so that means with these results now, they've got 7 points. Remember that they beat Tunisia women's national team 3-0 in their first match of this one, and that gave them 3 points. And then the second game, of course, came against the Botswana women's national team, and we won that game 1-0. So that gave us 3 points again. That makes it 6 points. And then we were able to grind out a barren draw, a 0-0 draw against the Algerian women's national team. Well, it was a very tough game for us. We were lacking in terms of decisiveness in front of goal, which gave us this barren draw. I was not really impressed with this encounter, even though that Coach Mabigo, of course, decided to make 8 changes going into this game, which of course somehow distorted the flow of this team. But then, even with our second team, we should be able to beat the Algerian women's national team. But the 1 point is in the offing for us, right? Which is of course very important, which is a good thing. So that ensures that we qualify to the quarterfinal stage of this year's edition of the African Women's Cup of Nations. For Zambia, they are waiting for us on the other side. So that means we're going to play against Zambia in the quarterfinal edition, in the quarterfinal stage of this competition, right? Well, Zambia are familiar foes. I must say, Zambia, of course, a familiar team that we've been up against in the past. Okay, so we're hoping that we'll, of course, get another win against the Zambian women's national team. So for Barbara Banda, who is the one player that we have to, of course, very much look out for. She's been on fire in this competition, all right? But Zambia, I don't know if they are the Egyptians to see today. Probably may not be able to see them some other time. So for our women, we have to prepare earnestly for this encounter. If we do not prepare earnestly, then we might as well end our journey in the quarterfinal stage of the competition. In the last 2 editions of this African Women's Cup of Nations, we exited the quarterfinal stage. So I do not know. I just hope that we're not going to exit this stage again. Last time out, we did well, but then in the last, I think last 4 years, we got out, left in the fourth, in the quarterfinal stage. I just hope our journey doesn't end here, because I have not really been impressed with the way we are playing. So I have not. If I tell I'm impressed with the way we are playing, with the way the Super Falcons are playing, I would lie to you. But we have not been very impressive in this edition of the African Women's Cup of Nations. We've not been that ruthless in front of goal. Remember, our playing against African oppositions, right? So we're expected to beat them. We are the champions of Africa. We have been that for so many years. If I were dominated, there was the time we even won the African Women's Cup of Nations 6 times in a row. So we're expected to dominate anytime we're playing against African oppositions. But this time, I really don't understand what is going on. Right, I'm not going to come here and then tell you that the Super Falcons have been able to impress me in this year's edition of the African Women's Cup of Nations. But then let's see if Mission X is possible. Hopefully, Zambia makes way for us to get to the semi-final stage of this edition of the AWCON. We are hoping to win it, so make it a record 10th time for the Super Falcons. There has never been any national team in Africa that has won the African Women's Cup of Nations 10 times. The Super Falcons are looking to do that. All right, in fact, they've already made a record for themselves. They are hoping to extend that record to a 10th time for the Super Falcons. So let's see if this one will be possible.